Hi everyone, Erica here with Fibersandfloss Canada. Welcome to my channel. This is all about cross-stitch, and today there's something special for you. I'd like to celebrate a new hashtag that I'm creating, and the hashtag's name is hashtag A Stitcher's 12 Days of Christmas. It's kind of a funny time of year to be introducing it, but I thought for Christmas in July, I will kick off this hashtag and see where it goes. The whole idea behind this hashtag is just to create a sense of community connection in celebrating a way that we're able to do things together, yet, in our own space, our own environment, yet celebrate that connection that we do have with our stitching community. I'm really excited because I was talking with Samantha, the Huga Stitcher, about this, and this fall we have some really exciting ideas for you guys. So there's many parts to this, but what we're going to do here for Christmas in July is starting July the 8th. I have to look. I chose a bit of a funny date, and the reason why I've done this is because I want to make sure to give everybody an opportunity to do all their patriotic stitching. And so I thought after July 4th long weekend would be an excellent time to start this. So starting July the 8th, I will be releasing prompts on Instagram every second day for 12 releases. And those prompts are going to be super simple things that you can participate in. It should take you maybe a minute or less. It could take longer too if you really want to do something with a bit more of a personal note to it. But this will be our plan for Christmas in July. 12 prompts where you get to share 12 of the very best Christmas cross-stitch patterns in your opinion. I'd like you guys to share that, use the hashtag, use the daily prompts that will be coming out. And then this fall, we'll use the hashtag again with a similar thing, but then also we would like to do a free virtual advent calendar for stitchers as well. I think it's a really neat way for us to just connect online. But then when we look at the time of year and Christmas, incorporating a bit of an advent calendar with a sense of Huga as well, where we can slow down, we can connect with our friends, our family, our stitchers, and really put some time into just celebrating the connections that we do have and perhaps creating a few extra at such a wonderful time of year. So today, what I'm going to do is run through the 12 prompts for Christmas in July. I'm going to share my 12 pattern picks with you guys, and then you will have to wait till July the 8th, and as those are released on Instagram, you can steal those graphics there, share it in your post, and share your favorite cross-stitch pattern as well. Now, if you are a floss tuber and you think that this is something that you would like to get into and you want those graphics, you can message me now and I will send you the 12 graphics right away. So you can get to filming and releasing a video right away, July 1st if you like. You do not have to wait till July the 8th to use the graphics as a floss tuber, but that's when the whole thing will kind of go live and get the stitching community involved in making their own posts on Instagram and whatnot. So let's just dive right in. The very first one that I want to share is the very best Santa pattern. Now, of course, these, just as a disclaimer for all these patterns, it's the best of Santa's, in my opinion, according to me. And so when you do your version, it will be the best Santa pattern in your opinion, according to you, right? So the idea is hopefully we'll have some really great Santa patterns that will emerge on day one, and so on and so forth. So I'll cut over to a picture here. My pick for the very best Santa pattern is actually a Dimensions Gold kit, and it's called Santa's Midnight Ride. Now for me, it's funny because I don't know why I'm not a big kit stitcher, but when it comes to Christmas and Dimensions Gold kits, give me all the kits. I will stitch all the things. I don't know what it is about Dimensions Gold and Christmas, but they go hand in hand. When I look up this pattern, there was a stitcher, and I'm trying to remember who it was now. Oh, she was super popular too, and I can't think, but she's done this, and it is gorgeous. She's almost finished it and it is stunning. This is actually a kit that I have ordered for myself, and I do plan to start in the month of July this year. So I'm super excited. The next prompt is the very best Christmas tree. This is a funny one. So, you know, when I think about the very best Christmas tree cross stitch, there's lots of stitches with trees in there. There's lots of stitches of just a single Christmas tree. And then there's also ornaments in the shape of a tree. So I'm interested to see what everybody comes up with. I had a really close toss up between two, but I was able to filter one of my, my contenders into a different category. So I'll go ahead and share with you the very best Christmas cross stitch pattern. This pattern here, it's very traditional looking for me, and the designer has some amazing trees like this. So this is on Etsy, and this is a Renato Parolin, or RNP. They're designers. I'm not sure where they're from. I get the impression they're overseas, but I can't think off the top of my head. This pattern here is entitled Christmas, and I just love this tree. I love the way that all the ornaments drop down from it, how there's nice layers. I love how there's a Christmas village in there. You have plenty of little birds in the tree, and then underneath the tree you also have a little scene with some deer and presents and stuff like that, and I think it's a really beautiful Christmas tree. The next one I'd like to share is the very best Christmas reindeer pattern out there. There are so many different patterns with reindeers again, but how can you not choose Nora Corbett and her Christmas Eve Courier collection? It is fantastic. My girlfriend Samantha, the Hugo Stitcher, has been stitching this collection for years. Every Christmas she starts a new reindeer and she finishes it in July. They are just beautiful. They're small pieces, but they have gorgeous embellishments, lots of sparkle, lots of blending filament, chromatic beads, there's whisper thread, there's everything that you could ever need in one of these little stitches. I have chosen Dancer. So Dancer is beautiful. I absolutely love the border on this with that nice icy blue frame. I love the tail, and the tails on these reindeer are all stitched in whisper thread. And then you use something called a bunka brush. And a bunka brush has all these little metal wires, and you use it to fluff up that floss, and it creates a fluffy tail. It's absolutely beautiful. There's so many beads off the back of this reindeer. There's beads hanging from the antlers. I like the little bit of trees down below, and then of course the icy ground as well. I think that this reindeer is absolutely beautiful. I'm currently stitching another reindeer, and I think I'd like to do this one next. The very next pattern I have for you, this selection is the very best winter snowman that you know of or that you feel is special to you. This was a toss-up for me. This designer I've chosen, I have desperately wanted to stitch one of their stitches for about 2 years, and I'm yet to select a pattern. And so it's funny because I thought right away, oh, I know the pattern I'm going to choose for this. And I went to the website and I found all these other patterns with snowmen that were just as beautiful. So the pattern I've chosen here is by Crochet A Go-Go, which is an Italian designer, and the pattern is called Christmas in the City. And I absolutely love this one for a few reasons. At the center of the city, we have a snowman who's being decorated by a couple mice in Santa outfits. And I think it's just so cute. But then I also love the aspect of having the stitched village border that goes along the top. And then of course, this is part of their city collection. So, you know, every different season, every different, you know, special holiday, they're creating these city stitches where they're all decorated slightly differently, and it's just something about the Christmas village. You know, you got the bunting, you have the Christmas trees, you've got the red and white awnings, you have the little monkeys with the Santa hats on top, there's various little snowmen, there's some red cardinals in there. It's just an absolutely beautiful Christmas scene. I love it a lot. Now, this next category gave me a run for my money because I really love the designer I've chose to share with you on this one. So the next prompt is the very best gingerbread. Now, gingerbread could be a gingerbread cookie in a mug, it could be a gingerbread house, it could be, you know, something made out of gingerbread, it could be a Mill Hill gingerbread ornament kit, all these options. But do you guys know Victoria Sampler? If you watched my July Canada Day, July 1st video, there is a section I feature Canadian designers, and one of them is Victoria Sampler. They've been around for a long time. They're quite well known throughout the world, and they have a collection called the Gingerbread Collection. This is so different. I could have chosen any one piece in this collection. I would love to stitch any of these pieces, and what they are different miniature gingerbread buildings that are stitched. So you actually cross stitch the building and then you assemble it, and you can end up with various things. I'll probably put in multiple pictures here, but the first picture I'm going to start with before I get into describing all of it is the gingerbread tree etui. And so this one's really neat. When you have a look at it, you'll see a pyramid, and there's 4 sides to the pyramid. But what's really cool about this is that once this piece is assembled, you can untie the ribbon at the top, and one of the walls comes down, and inside it is a notion holder. Etui is French for notion holder, and so this pattern also includes a pin cushion that fits perfectly in the bottom of the tree. There's a scissor holder as well, and then there's some loop fasteners at the back of the tree. That's to hold some of your floss. Now, this is a really neat one, I think, because it's functional as well, and it would look really great in your stitchy spot at Christmas time. But now let's just look at some of the other ones, because I think, you guys, there's going to be so many people that end up stitching these things. There is the flower shop. There is the needlework shop, and the needlework shop, the roof comes off of it, and it is a box. They have so many different other ones that open up as well that end up being notion holders, and they all have some sort of neat function. So I kind of think of these gingerbread pieces as, you know, when you used to go to like your grandma's house and she would stitch with acrylic floss in that plastic framing, and they would make like tissue box covers and stuff like that. It's like that, but these are fancier, and they're so much more fun. They are stitched on linen. I can't wait to do it. The one downside though for Victoria Sampler is that they were similar with Jeanette Douglas in the sense where they would make embellishment packs so that all these different types of ribbons and floss and embellishments that you need, you don't have to buy a ton of it. It came with only what you needed. But unfortunately, Victoria Sampler has stopped selling their embellishment packs, so there might be still some kicking around on the market you can get. Otherwise, it may be a situation where I may end up using something different for the beads on the tree or something like that, just depending on cost, and I may end up using some more supplies that I already have. But this is a cross stitch I will definitely be starting in the winter this year. Okay, so I've totally digressed, haven't I? Moving back to where we were. So the next prompt is the very best Christmas village cross stitch. This is a fun one because there's so many great Christmas villages out there, and I can't wait to see what people come up with. Again, this is the project that I have picked is something that I have looked at. I think it was released maybe last winter or the year before. I think maybe last winter, and I have almost ordered it a few times, and I haven't yet, but it's definitely at the top of my wish list. This is by Shannon Christine Designs, and it is Sugar Plum Village. Now, I absolutely love this. When I look at the picture, you know, it's beautiful. It reminds me a lot of the Crochet Go-Go, the Christmas in the City. It's a similar look where there's, you know, the village at the top and then more of the scenes with the central focus piece. But the colors are a bit more pastel. When we think sugar plum, I like that, the sugar plum fairy, you know, the Nutcracker. And when you see this one stitched up, it's beautiful. I'm not sure, I haven't had a overly close look at the pattern, so I'm not sure what the count is, but it definitely, this one does look like a 36 count because those stitches really just pop off of that fabric. The snowflakes, it all looks so beautiful, and it's actually quite sparkly also, so I think that would be a really beautiful one to stitch. The next one is the Very Best Snowflake pattern. This is a fun one for me because I knew right away again which one I would pick, and that was by Modern Folk Embroidery. This pattern here is called Through the Bitter Frost and Snow. And the reason why I love it is there's multiple snowflakes, but you know, with Jacob's pieces, I love the monochromatic effect that he has with a lot of his pieces. When I look at this particular piece, something about a red sampler, it just does it for me, right? Like, it's beautiful. Who doesn't love a red sampler? But could you imagine stitching this on like a dark linen? So think of a really dark navy, but stitching the snowflakes in white, and possibly white with like a blending filament with it as well, so it has a sparkle, I think would be absolutely stunning. I think it'd be very fun to do. And then also just having all those little mini finishes, right? Each motif is a bit of a finish, which is a lot of fun. The next prompt we have for you, I think we're at prompt number 8, and that would be the Very Best Christmas Ornament. I love Christmas ornaments. They are, you know, the most special part of Christmas for me. When we get to set up our tree, we use all handmade ornaments. A lot of them have been passed down from generations that have been made, you know, when I was a child. My mom made us tons of ornaments. Every Christmas I make my children an ornament. So ornaments are something that I really enjoy and hold dear to my heart. This pattern here is an old pattern. It's something that my aunt made for me when I was a young child. I still have on my tree, and about, I think 2022 maybe, I decided to find the pattern and I wanted to make these for my children that year. So the best Christmas ornament pattern, in my opinion, is the Easy Cross Stitch Folded Star Ornament, and this is by Annie's Cross Stitch. You can tell just from the look on this, you know, cover page of the booklet, this is very like 1990s kind of vintage. Look at the lace, look at the colors, right? And what I'm going to do here is insert a couple pictures of some of the Christmas balls that we have made. So the very first one with those 90 colors, that pink and green, this is one that my aunt had stitched for me, and you can see that in the very middle there's a cross-stitched area just on some Aida cloth, and then the whole thing is just assembled with these little pieces of well, any sort of fabric, or you could use ribbon too. I used fabric, and they're just folded in place with the pin. And then when you get to the edge, you just kind of glue down some sort of trim around the edge of it. And there's a front and a back, and they look exactly the same. Here you can see I've made a couple for my sons, I have pictures of, and I've made one for my daughter too, but unfortunately I don't have a picture with me today to share. Both of them were great. I have put beads on one of my boys, and the other one with the moose was not a cross-stitch design from the booklet. It was one where he said, I want a moose on mine, Mom. I thought, okay, I'll just see how that goes, and it turned out okay. So I had a lot of fun making those. I'll definitely make more this year as well. And the pattern was a PDF download. It was fairly inexpensive. I want to say maybe $13 or something. And it comes with all the patterns, the stitch patterns on the front of that booklet. And then there's another like 15 patterns on the back of the booklet as well that you can follow. Or you can, you know, do something a little bit different for yourself like I've done, where I've added the beads, I've added some sparkle, or stitched a moose, whatever you would like. So the next one for number 9 is your very best winter or Christmas sampler. And this is a fun one because there's definitely some samplers out there that are the theme of Christmas or winter time. For myself, I've chosen a winter sampler, and it's funny because I've already chosen this designer, and that's Crochet A Go-Go from Italy. And obviously I need to just go ahead and purchase one of their patterns because it just keeps coming up in my mind that this is something that I want to stitch. It's a little bit, it's still, some of it has a bit of a traditional look in this sampler, but some of it does not. Something about it is just a bit more fun. And so the pattern that I have chosen here is called Winter Sampler. Now this is a sampler again where they have done their winter and fall, winter, autumn, winter, spring, and I think they've come out with their summer now as well. I just love the house for one. I like the little, I don't know what you would, is that a bush? Like the little floral petals to the right and left of the house. So I guess it's supposed to represent some sort of bush in the background. I like the little picket fence. I love the cardinals, the owls, the nice green border, and at the bottom I love the deers there. And the little squirrels cheersing in the middle too is super cute. So I just think that would be a fun piece to stitch. Yeah, it's definitely one that I would like to do one day for sure. So the next one that I have for you guys is 12 Days of Christmas. And this one is neat because when I was looking at patterns that represent the 12 Days of Christmas, a lot of these patterns are really old, or they are, you know, kits that you can buy online, but they definitely have, you know, a vintage look to them for sure. So the pattern I have chosen is by Jim Shore, and this is called 12 Days of Christmas. I really like it because it does represent, it has a bit of like an Art Deco feel to it when I'm looking at some of these, the pictures that are stitched there, but I like how it has the 12 days clearly laid out. I like how it has the 5 rings. Look at the 2 turtle doves, just how they're intertwined there. I just think that's a really beautiful pattern, but again, I don't know when this was made, but I'm assuming this is an older pattern, and it's definitely, I think would be fun to stitch. You could definitely, well, I don't know if you could maybe stitch a box a day. That might be definitely too much in December. Nobody has time for that in December, but you could definitely do maybe a box a week or something like that over the Christmas and winter season. The next one I have for you guys is the Very Best Angel. So this could be a Christmas angel. This could just be an angel. The angel I have chosen is Christmas Angel by Lavender and Lace. Something about Lavender and Lace designs and their angels are just so beautifully classic. They're elegant. There are, you know, they have nice faces on them. They have that beautiful comfort block stitching. When we look at that golden ribbon that is just kind of draped all around her, look at the red through there, and then the sheer covering over the dress is beautiful. I think this would be a really fun one to stitch. This pattern is still in print as well, and is it's readily available. It's easy to find online for sure. The very last one I have for you guys for Christmas in July is the Very Best Nutcracker. This one could go one of 2 ways. You could choose a Nutcracker ballet, or you could choose a Nutcracker. I have chosen to choose a Nutcracker ballet. This one here is called Nutcracker, and this is by Owl Forest Embroidery. I do love an Owl Forest Embroidery stitch. You know, they're very fun. Their colors are beautiful. Their floss is all hand painted, variegated floss. And when I look at the Nutcracker, I don't know, just to me, something about it just screams, you know, traditional Christmas, the memories of going to the playhouse and watching something, all the Christmas plays at the school, and it's so beautiful. This one here, there's a very traditional Christmas tree in the top center. They have lots of candles on their tree. I like the lanterns that are hanging amongst the snowflakes. You have the village in the background. And then of course you have the characters from the Nutcracker coming down throughout the rest of the pattern. I think that this is a beautiful pattern. It's definitely something that I would love to stitch. And with Owl Forest Embroidery, I've stitched quite a few of their patterns, and I find that for me, it's really all about their variegated floss. But ordering can be a bit of a, I don't want to say a bit of a problem, but you're definitely making an international order, and you know, there's a cost to that. You will have to pay duties on that, and it's smart to you know, kind of group anything you're going to ship from them and order once a year. And so that this is on my list to order the next time myself or one of my friends is ordering from Owl Forest Embroidery. You know, the patterns, you can end up getting the PDF downloads, but I do really want that floss. And then if you do order from them and you're ordering the floss, if they have the kit, I suggest you get the kit. A couple of reasons. Their fabric is much cheaper than it is buying fabric in North America. Plus it's perfectly matched with their floss. But then also, if you've ever received one of their kits, it's so neat. So it comes with a needle minder, all the usual stuff. But when you open it up, all their paper pattern is all folded, and it's folded into like origami, and then it's all layered together. So when you get it, it's like opening this beautiful package, and you kind of have to, every time I open one, I have to pause and think, how do I open this? Like, it's not very clear, you know, and it's all just so intricately folded. I don't know. I don't know why they do that with their patterns, but I love it. It's just one of those nice little details when you're unboxing something, just to see, you know, the hand, just that handicraft that went into curating that box for you is really, really lovely. So yeah. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed my 12 picks for Christmas. I will link the names of all the patterns and designers in the drop down box below. If you are a floss tuber and you want those graphics, just reach out to me. I will happily share those to you as the requests come in. I do encourage you to make your video as soon as you can. That way we can kind of get this off the ground and running. And then starting July the 8th, there will be prompts released on Instagram as well for you guys. So I will release it through my page Fibers and Floss, but I'm thinking I may also release it off of a new page, just because I'm wanting a Stitcher's 12 Days of Christmas to be something that does continue over the years and is able to create a bit of a stronger community connection. So I'm going to see if I can create an Instagram page for that, and if so, that's where those will be released as well. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoy your Canada Day long weekend, your July 4th long weekend, and we'll see you guys again on July the 8th. Thank you so much. Happy stitching.